It's your girl, Soft Rain. Real talk, no filter, no disguise. Every headline, I'm breaking it live. From the streets to the pressure of up top. We see it all, yeah, we connect the dots. Weekly rain, yeah, we run it down. Truth hit different when they wear a crown. No fluff, no cap, just facts in sight. Welcome to the Weekly Rain Report. Let's get into it tonight.
Disclaimer. This broadcast is intended for commentary, discussion, and entertainment purposes only. All topics and statements are based on publicly available information, including news reports, social media content, and third-party sources, which may include allegations or unverified claims. The views expressed are opinions and should not be interpreted as confirmed facts. This content is not intended to harm, defame, misrepresent any individual, organization, or entity. Viewer discretion is advised. What is good, YouTube family? It is your girl, Soft Rain, and welcome into the Weekly Rain Report. I got some interesting stories for y'all this week. Kind of a little bit all over the place, but not really. I hope y'all enjoyed your 4th of July weekend. Thankfully, I had Friday off as well, so I'm hoping that y'all were able to do the same. I got some good stories for y'all. Let me see what all I got for y'all. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. I had everything pulled up, of course, y'all, and I was rushing to get on here. Let's see. All right, so some of the stories I got, they're heavy. Some are cultural and some are policy. Some are reminders that life can still inspire us. But all of them have one thing in common. They tell us something about the world we are living in right now. So today I'm going to begin with a child unaliving case or death case that out of Michigan that is raising painful questions about neglect, warning signs, and how a child can disappear in plain sight. Of course, I'm going to talk about America's 250th celebration, President Trump at Mount Rushmore, and the politics of legacy. And then for my segment called Reality Check, I'm going to look into the World Cup fans discovering America. Not just soccer, but the food, the stadiums, the hospitality, and yes, even ranch dressing. And then for our wellness check, we're going to go over to California where it's changing its food labels. And it may change the way families decide what is safe to eat or not. And for Soul Reset, we're going to close with Kelsey Pfendler, a woman who has rowed across the Pacific Ocean and reminded people that sometimes victory starts with having the courage to begin. So let's get into it. And before I get into it, I want to welcome everybody in that has already came in. These numbers are jumping around wild. So if it's your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this with somebody who might find this interesting. Let's see who we got already in the comments. Thank you for being here. We're going to say that much, okay? I'm going to get into my first segment, which is Radar Investigates. So my first segment. So I'm going to move to Flint, Michigan, where a 7-year-old boy named Casper O'Brien is dead. His parents are now facing serious criminal charges as well. So according to the Associated Press, Casper's parents, Damien and Jessica O'Brien, have been charged with second-degree murder, torture, and multiple counts of child abuse. Prosecutors say he died in November, weighing 255 pounds. He was only 7 years old, and he reportedly stood just a little bit over 4 feet tall. Now, let's be clear, these are just charges. His parents are accused, and the case still has to move through the courts. But the facts described by investigators are disturbing. The medical examiner determined that Casper died from dilated cardiomyopathy, a heart condition with extreme weight and poor nutrition listed as its contributing factors. Prosecutors said Casper was bedridden, nonverbal, and had severe bed sores. They also said he had not been enrolled in school and had not seen a doctor since early of 24. So that's where the story becomes bigger than one household. The question is not just what happened inside the home, but how did nobody not know? So according to reports, prosecutors said Casper and his younger sister had no known contact with the school systems or child protective services. His sister has since been placed in foster care. Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton called it one of the most tragic cases he has seen in more than 2 decades. And that matters, right? Because when a child is not in school, not receiving regular medical care, or not being seen by outside adults, the safety gets thinner. And sometimes a child can suffer behind those closed doors with nobody watching. So tonight, we're not just asking about criminal charges, we're asking about systems. Who checks on children that are not in school? Who follows up when medical referrals are missed? And how do we protect children who cannot speak for themselves? Because Casper's story is not just heartbreaking, it's a warning as well. So let's get into the video. I'm going to add this to the stage. Let's get into the video. Let's see. Here we go. Going like this, y'all. Let's play this and let's listen in on what went on with this story.
This in my years as a prosecutor.
The parents of a 7-year-old boy who weighed more than 200 pounds face murder, child abuse, and torture charges. This story began to unfold on November 4th when a 911 call was made for a young boy in distress at a Flint Township home. He was rushed to a hospital, but he died. And Terry, the Genesee County prosecutor says this is just a terrible case of neglect.
Yeah, he does, Angie, and that's why his office has charged the parents with second-degree murder following the death of their 7-year-old Casper, their son. He was 50 inches tall and weighed 255 pounds when he died.
On the face of it, this is cruel and extreme suffering from this child caused by the neglect of the parents.
40-year-old Damian O'Brien and his wife, 41-year-old Jessica O'Brien, face the same charges in connection with the death of their 7-year-old son Casper. The most serious charge, second-degree murder. Flint Township Police came to this home on Dania on November 4th, 2025, for a report of a child in distress. Casper was taken to Hurley Medical Center, where he died a short time later. Medical reports indicate he weighed 255 pounds at the time of his death.
That's obesity. And then you also have the fact that this child did not have a pediatrician, was only taken to the doctor, I believe, according to the police reports, once.
The cause of death was dilated cardiomyopathy, which causes heart failure, with a contributing cause being morbid obesity. The CDC lists a healthy weight for a 7-year-old boy that is 50.5 inches tall, generally ranges between 50 and 73 pounds.
The dad has a good job. They have real health insurance. That morning that the child died, they had even called their veterinarian to have their dog treated.
The O'Briens also have a 5-year-old daughter.
None of these kids even existed in the eyes of the government. CPS had never been out there. Nobody knew about these kids. They'd not been to school.
Genesee County Prosecutor David Layton says on the day police were at the home in November, the owner of the house stopped by, concerned, believing the house was falling into disrepair and the couple wasn't letting him in the house, instead leaving the rent on the porch.
I can't think of what else this is other than extraordinary, terrible neglect. And to me, that's willful and wanton misconduct, which is second-degree murder.
Jesus.
And police described the living conditions in the home as a hoarding situation. Now, I could not reach the O'Brien's attorney for comment. They are being held at the Genesee County Jail on no bond.
Turn to the other.
Wow, y'all. That's a lot. So the father had health insurance, but the kids weren't registered in school or anything. So that's a lot right there. Whenever something's not on the radar, though, how can people step in and help? So unfortunately, that little boy, he neglected, So yeah. When a child disappears from every system meant to see him, who is responsible for not noticing? That, that's crazy. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you're catching this on a rewatch, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this situation. And I do, since this new video came up, I do want to move on to this. I didn't have this on my list of things to talk about today, but we're going to listen in on these daredevils and what they did. And then we'll move on to our next segment after this. So our policy and pressure is going to be after this, so hang tight. But yeah, let's listen in on to this the daredevils that can climb the Empire State Building. Can't get my words out today.
The news tonight, and here in New York City, the arrests and now the felony charges tonight after millions watch those two suspects climb to the top of the Empire State Building. Tonight, authorities right here on what the security cameras now reveal. Sources telling ABC News they got into the Empire State Building the day before and slept there overnight, going through a security hatch on the 102nd floor. A lock had been broken on the 104th floor. Here's Aaron Katursky again tonight.
Tonight, 24 hours after their harrowing climb to the top of the Empire State Building without ropes, with millions watching, the daredevils came back to earth.
Is it worth it? Was it worth it?
To be arrested and face felony charges.
Two geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire.
Tonight, we're learning new details about the stunning security breach. Sources tell ABC News Angelina Nicolau and Ivan Kuznetsov bought tickets to the Empire State Building, entering on Tuesday, the day before their stunt, and hiding out overnight. The next morning at 5 a.m., the sources say a security camera caught the couple going through a hatch on the 102nd floor observation deck. Hours later, prosecutors say the pair left through the 104th floor, where a lock on a security door had been broken, clambering onto the antenna and unfurling a banner nearly 1,500 feet in the air. That antenna emits high-frequency radio signals, powerful enough to cause harm to the human body. Elite NYPD officers had to wait for it to be shut down before they could approach.
We can't be up here.
Here's what the police commissioner said today about those officers.
These are men and women of uncommon valor. It really can take your breath away. But that is what the men and women of ESU do basically every day.
Prosecutors quoting Kuznetsov saying he wanted to do something special for his engagement. But tonight, Nikolau's father back in Russia tells ABC News the couple is already married, calling the proposal a performance. I asked them directly.
Are you guys secretly already married? Was this a real engagement? Why is the power of love message important?
Yes,
now?
we'll answer later. Right now we're not ready. We just need to relax. And sleep for sure. It was very cold last night.
They ducked into the subway, pausing on the stairwell for a kiss.
Tonight, David, those two are facing charges, including reckless endangerment and criminal mischief. Their lawyer says that's too much for a couple trying to send a message of love. The police are trying to send a different message, David.
Gotta love it when our investigative reporter shows up and starts asking questions. Aaron, we appreciate it.
All in the name of love or foolishness? Which one is it? So that was unprompted. I did see this story over the weekend, of course, and yeah. So hey, I you know what? I don't know. I don't. She got to really love him. Yeah. So if you are catching this on a rewatch, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'll talk back. So let's move on to my next segment, which is my policy and pressure segment. This is where we're going to get into talking about America's 250th celebration. So let's do that. So I just seen your comment. You said that's courting. You think so? So welcome in. So I appreciate you watching. So let's move. Ooh, it's thundering loud here, y'all. Hopefully I won't have to get off, but it's a storm about to brew here. So for my next segment, policy and pressure, we're looking at America's 250th birthday. This should be one of those rare moments where the country pauses and reflects. 250 years since the Declaration of Independence, 250 years of ideals, contradictions, progress, conflict, and struggle and survival. But this week, the celebration also became political. President Trump headlined a major Freedom 250 celebration out at Mount Rushmore. The White House says the 250th anniversary effort is meant to inspire love of American history, civic pride, adventure, innovation, and unity. But the pressure point is this. When a national birthday becomes centered around one political figure, people start asking whether this is patriotism or personal branding. The Washington Post reported that the White House said Trump would make a strong addition to Mount Rushmore, even though officials have long said the monument cannot realistically be carved any further. So that's where the story gets deeper. Mount Rushmore is not just a tourist attraction, it's a symbol of power, memory, and who America chooses to honor. It also features Washington, Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Lincoln, but it also sits in the Black Hills, land that remains deeply significant to the Lakota people. So let me bring that up and we'll watch the segment on that. Let's see. Let's see. Of course, I had to pull it up, but now I want to go away. Let's see, y'all. There we go. Here it is. Here it is. Okay.
Flyby over Mount Rushmore before President Trump took the stage to celebrate America's 250th.
We stand beneath the monument of these heroes, a true group of unbelievable people, and we rededicate ourselves to being a nation as big, bold, noble, and as great as these American giants.
The president has mused about adding himself to the monument, even posting this video on social media ahead of Friday's speech, although experts say there's not enough room. It's the latest event celebrating the anniversary of the country's founding, all leading up to the huge grand finale tonight in the nation's capital. The extreme heat has been just one of the major challenges surrounding the multi-day programming in D.C., after several big-name music acts pulled out of concerts citing political concerns last month. In downtown D.C., miles of fencing now surrounding the National Mall area, including the reflecting pool, which the Trump administration says will have to be drained after the holiday, following a $14 million renovation, an ongoing algae problem, and allegations of vandalism. As for what to expect tonight, President Trump promising lengthy remarks, which will be followed by a massive display of fireworks.
It's going to be approximately 107 degrees out. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make a really long speech just to show that I can do anything.
Weather permitting, the evening will also feature highly anticipated flyovers, including a full Thunderbirds aerial show and the new Air Force One, the controversial $400 million luxury jet donated by Qatar. But despite it all, Americans are excited to celebrate the 4th.
You can only do it once in your lifetime for the 250th, so it's got to be here. And guys, a note on that fireworks show. On a typical 4th of July, they launch around 33,000, but this year it's going to be 850,000 fireworks from 10 different locations, ranging from the National Mall to West Potomac Park, which could set a new world record. Savannah and Craig.
It's going to be a spectacular show. Monica, thank you.
Well, what y'all think about that? Trump adding his face to Mount Rushmore. Oh, I got a special guest in the building. Let me bring him up. Oh, hold on. How do I do? Wait a minute. I got you. Do I do it like this? No, I don't. Do I do it like this? Do I do it like this? Hey, Fluff.
What's happening?
What's going on? Thank you for joining me on the Weekly Rain Report.
Why does this man want to add his face to Mount Rushmore? Come on, man.
You know, I really can't speak on it too tough, but you know, he's been.
Why you want to speak on it too tough?
You know, where you went, Plug? Oh, Plug left me. Come back. I can't speak on it too tough, y'all, because of my personal life. But he has been wanting to add his name to several. Oh, did he come back? There we go. There you go. Well, where your camera at, Plug?
And my camera, they acting funny with me right now.
Oh, man.
Man, it's always something, ain't it? Always something.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Soul said, I think it's a plan to have the next president focus so much energy on changing the past that they don't move their agenda.
Nah.
What's your take on the Plug?
I really can't call it. You know, everybody's calling them names and this and that, but I think because we just beginning the process, that a lot of people can't really see where the process is going. You know what I mean? Because the economy's so down and out right now, and the actual, you know, just the direction in which the country is going, that I think that they just can't see the plan unfold. It's just going to, if people saying take time, a lot of people are impatient, especially when it comes to their finances and stability, you know? So when you're making moves like this, trying to, like, you can foresee the future or know where it's going, we can't.
Yeah.
So it makes it harder for you to make moves like that and say, hey, I want to put myself on Mount Rushmore and be like, man, what you done did? Ain't nobody done seen it. We haven't seen the side effects yet.
He been wanting to put his name on everything, though. Say it again.
You can't hear me?
Well, I don't know if it's slow on my end or your end. You buffering a little bit. I hope it's not my end. Is it your end, Plug? Plug, go out and come back in.
Is this better?
I don't know if it's my internet or maybe yours. Because it's moving slow.
I'm moving slow.
No,
I apologize.
Oh no, it's all right. So tell me one more time what your thoughts is on it.
You couldn't hear me at all?
Because it was buffering.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
So what I'm saying is that the way the economy is right now, you know, and him actually wanting to do this, no one can see your plan. You could probably see where your plan is actually going, but no one else can actually see the plan. So with their economy and their finances the way that it is right now in the State of the Union, no one wants to see you making moves as putting yourself on the, you know, Mount Rushmore as a move to be making, and no one can see where you're going because of the State of the Union. So,
yeah. So, when we talk about adding a faith, we're not just talking about stone. We're talking about legacy. Who gets remembered? Who gets centered? Who gets erased? And who gets to decide what patriotism looks like? So that's the pressure of public history too. These monuments don't just tell us what happened; they tell future generations what a country wanted to celebrate. So, yeah. So we're gonna move on to our next segment. It's called Reality Check. So let's see. I'm gonna get that pulled up. So for reality check, I'm gonna move over to the World Cup, but not just the matches though. We're looking at what happened when international fans come to America and start falling in love with things that many Americans barely think twice about. Fast food, stadiums, superstores, Cheesecake Factory menus, hospitality, and somehow ranch dressing. Plug, let me know when you want to come back. I think Plug has some technical difficulties, y'all. So he'll let me know when he want to come back up. So fans from around the world are reacting to American culture with fresh eyes. One fan talked about trying a bacon, egg, and cheese for the first time. Another fan was stunned by the size of a high school stadium. A visitor at Cheesecake Factory described the menu like it was an event by itself. Plug is back, y'all. So hey, Plug, you good now? You think?
I hope so.
Okay. So, and that's a reality check. Sometimes what feels normal to us feels unforgettable to someone else. The 2026 World Cup is bringing millions of visitors across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And while the game is the reason they came, the culture is becoming part of the story. So fans are noticing the size of the food, the tipping culture, the skyscrapers, the crowds, the stadiums, the way strangers say, hey, you're welcome. So I guess they're saying that, policy or hospitality, not policy, but hospitality is one of the things that we have here in America that some places don't have. So I'm going to pull up that video for that.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. World Cup fans. There we go. Share screen. All right, here it is. Plug. There we go. Let's listen to what the World Cup fans are saying about America. Oh, our face is covered down there.
National fans arriving for soccer's Mecca, the World Cup, are becoming obsessed by American novelties, from fast food to giant superstores to good old-fashioned hospitality. Here's Nightline's Ashin Singh.
Soccer superfans from around the world are sharing their first-hand experiences with American culture, and they can't seem to get enough.
I had a bacon, egg, and cheese for the first time the other day, and I'll tell you, that for breakfast slapped.
As millions of fans descend on the U.S. for the 2026 World Cup, some sharing both their love for the sport.
This is a high school stadium. What?
And their own take on quintessentially American experiences.
Thanks so much. You're welcome. Trying Cheesecake Factory in America for the first time.
This is more exciting than Christmas Day for me. The menu was the size of a Bible. I've never seen anything like it.
I cannot speak English, but I'm excited!
Fans like Hiroshika, who traveled all the way from Japan to Arlington, Texas, to support his country's team. His interview with Fox News becoming an internet sensation.
These videos have gone viral because what they're really doing is just showcasing what we kind of take for granted, just little nuances, that are part of American life. It's kind of contagious.
We met some of those fans in New York as they headed to a match. This family flew in from Oslo.
Have you guys been to the U.S. before?
Never been.
You've never been?
Oh, it's amazing, the people, the hospitality, and the drinks, and the food, and everything. Yeah.
The margaritas in the States.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was it like getting to take the train in with the crowds, be in the crowd?
The biggest stadiums in Norway maybe have 20,000, 60,000 then. This is 80,000.
Right.
That's so big.
Fans from around the world embracing the phrase "go big or go home."
What's the biggest culture shock for you guys here?
This Chinese food culture.
And the tipping. Skyscraper.
Yes, the building. Yes,
the building.
Utah, Las Vegas. Living in Las Vegas.
The action on the soccer pitch heating up and drawing huge crowds. The world's biggest superstars stealing the show. Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo becoming the first player to score in 6 different World Cups. And Argentina's Lionel Messi also making history, becoming the World Cup's all-time leading scorer. Fans of all ages there to cheer him on, taking to the streets in Texas. Scenes like this warming hearts all over the United States, like soccer legend Abby Wambach.
Can you feel what's happening right now? Like in our country and the World Cup, like how everybody's of joy and everybody's happy.
Yes, I do feel that.
Fans like the now viral Freddie, spreading his own excitement on social media, crisscrossing America to cheer on Germany, documenting his stops along the way.
Freddie is doing America right. You know, he is going into places and really, you know, having these experiences that people are really catching on to and sharing and resharing and commenting on and talking about because they're just fun, you know, and it's just so innocent.
Tourists discovering their love for American classics, most notably an obsession with a condiment not widely available overseas. Ranch dressing, so popular, the TSA dipping into it, reminding visitors, if you're visiting for a very large sporting event and you happen to discover ranch while you're here, please pack it in your checked bag on the way home. All the fanfare happening against the backdrop of global tension.
America stand. Well, we're not going to talk about the global tension. I'm not worried about the global tension. Well, how do you feel about other countries discovering America right now, Plug?
Oh my God. I don't know why I'm frozen, but I'm frozen.
Oh man. Okay.
Can you see me?
Yep, I can see you, but you're frozen.
Yeah. Man, you know, I'm going to dip out because I don't want to ruin the show.
Okay,
All right.
Plug.
All right.
Talk to me in the comments, Plug.
I'm with you.
All right. Thank you for coming. I thank Plug for coming. For sure. He having technical difficulties on my end. On his end. So what y'all think about that? Ranch dressing. You know, multiple outlets have reported that international fans have become so obsessed with ranch dressing that TSA had put out that warning, as y'all can see, to remind travelers that sauces follow the liquid rules. Anything larger than 3.4 ounces need to go in a checked bag, not carry-ons. That's funny to me, but it also says something bigger, that this is soft power. Soft power is not just military strength or politics, it's culture. It's food, it's music, it's sports, it's the feeding people take home after they've experienced your country. And right now, while America's image is complicated, these small moments are doing something powerful. People are coming here, meeting communities, spending money, cheering at stadiums, and discovering that America is not just what all they see in politics as well. So it's families hosting visitors, it's cities welcoming teams, it's fans dancing in the streets, and strangers making memories together. So this segment, Reality Check, the World Cup, is not just showing the world soccer in America, is showing America to the world. So sometimes the smallest things we take for granted are the very things we remind people who we still can be as America. So James, welcome in, James. He says, James Spitfire. Welcome back, James. It's been a minute. I'm glad you're here. She said, all countries want to stay in the U.S. USA is a land of freedom and individual rights. Other countries do not have this. USA is exciting. I appreciate you being here, Jane. She said, USA is a melting pot. Plug said they love that ranch. Hey, Jane, Plug, I don't love all ranch now. There's certain ranches that I like. Not all ranches are created equal, okay? Some of them aren't. all that tasty, and some are. I love a fresh ranch. You know, I'm gonna tell you the one I like the most, and I don't know how they do it. I don't know what their recipe is Jason's Deli. And I don't know if it has to do with like their fresh ingredients on their salad bar, but I will go. I have gone before just to pick up ranch from Jason's Deli, depending on if I was wanting some ranch or not. So not all ranch is created equal. I would say that. Jane said, hi. Thank you for coming back, Jane. It's been a minute. Uncle Plug said they love it. We complain. Absolutely. They do. Uncle Plug said that Wingstop ranch cake. I haven't taken, you know what? I've never had Wingstop at all. But I'm not a big wing person either. I have to get some, my wings have to be fried hard if I'm gonna consume some wings. Or I just get some tenders. But yeah. Uncle Plug said, yeah, go to Jason's Deli. Get you some ranch. I have gone there before just to pick up some cucumbers and ranch. Yeah. And I love their salad bar. I go in there and I'll get a salad bar to go. And I'll be eating on salad for 2-3 days. Mm-hmm. Plus said, what? No, I've never had Wingstop. Never fried hard extra sauce. Okay then. I'm gonna have to check that out for real. Because I'm not I've never been a big wing person at all. So, and speaking of food, we're gonna move on to my next segment, which is the wellness check. I'm gonna make sure everybody stay abreast of this as well, because it's a lot of things going on. Super Mac said 333, let it rain. Hey, Super Mac, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Make sure also, if y'all are catching this on the rewatch, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit subscribe and drop your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know. I talk back. So let me know what y'all think about the tourists that we have in America, experience in America. Yeah, so Uncle Blood dropping those raindrops. I appreciate it. Jane said on NPR radio this week, they had a history of immigration. North America has always let others come here for freedom and new world existence. If Great Britain back 1600 years had been fairer, others not seek USA. Oh, I like your perspective on that. Yeah. So we're gonna move forward to my next segment called Wellness Check. Let me get that pulled up. So we just got finished talking about food and ranch and whatnot. And so for Wellness Check, we are talking about something sitting in almost everybody's kitchen: food labels. Over in California, they just became the first state to ban consumer-facing sell-by labels on most food packages. So starting on July 1st, food manufacturers selling in California must use clearer labels. Best if used by means the product is at its best quality. Only used by means food safety. So that sounds small, but it could have a major impact, right? So the Associated Press reports that confusing food labels contribute to people throwing away food that still may be safe. And according to the AP, California throws away about 6 million tons of unexpired food each year. And food label confusion is part of the problem. So we got to be honest, right? A lot of us have stood in the kitchen and stared at a date on a carton. A pack of meat, a bottle of dressing, ranch dressing, and wondered, is this bad or is it just past the date? So that confusion costs families money, right? It affects food banks. It adds to food waste, and it creates stress for people who are already trying to stretch groceries, especially, these grocery prices have gone up. So the old sell by label really meant for stores. It was really meant for stores. It helped retailers know how long to display a product, but many shoppers read it as an expiration date. So California's new law is trying to separate quality from safety. That matters because food wellness is not just about what we eat. It's also about how we understand what we buy as well. So this does not mean ignore common sense, y'all. If it smells wrong, looks wrong, or has been stored improperly, do not play around with your health because we know these food illnesses exist, you know. The larger point is this: clearer labels can help people make better decisions. So at a time when grocery prices are still heavy, families throwing away good food, and because of confusion, you know, wording on there. So you got a best, let me go back. So California is using best if used by, and then you got, which is the food's best quality. And then you have a just used by date, which means food safety. So those two things, you know, kind of go hand in hand. And I see y'all are going up in the comments. I'm going to read some of your comments first, and then we'll get to the video, and then we'll talk about it again. So Supermate said, not surprising. I never had or even been to a lot of popular joints. No Arby's, no Papa John's, no restaurants in general. Oh, so you do a lot of fresh food from the house. Jane said, tourists come to USA. Many diverse races here and their influences. Food, lots of toxic crap, and some things, yes, I do the expiration dates and dyes and chemicals. I will say this. I knew somebody who moved to Germany, and although they consumed the same food that they consumed here in the United States, they lost weight. They did not change anything about their diet. They still consumed the Oreo cookies, the cereals, everything else. But in the United States, we have a lot of preservatives and a lot of chemicals and whatnot. And see, other countries, they don't allow that in their manufacturing. So we in the United States we need to, I honestly think somehow we need to restructure our food processing and what we're doing here. Like overly processed food is not good for us at all. So Supermax said, fresh food is a must. If it needs a label, you in trouble. I agree. James said, I think US needs to do more natural influence instead of chemical. Botox in face used to be chemicals, now use fish sperm. Ooh, I did not know that, Jane. Fish sperm is natural and better. Okay. One data. Hello. Welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share this with somebody who might find it interesting. Uncle Plug said, if it ain't funky, do with it as you shall. Uncle Plug said, but don't overshop. Get what you need and what you need only. Yes, I think too that America is obsessed with bulk buying, i.e. Sam's, Costco, and whatnot. Now, don't get me wrong. I shop there. I shop at Sam's. And I do I will say that bulk buying can be good for larger families, but just to stockpile and hold on to, no. Dry goods, yes. Toilet paper, paper towels, things of that nature. Canned goods, yes. But as far as these other snacks and whatnot that we consume on a daily, I wouldn't recommend getting an overabundance of those at all. James said, medication soothed by horse urine equals permanent. Diabetic insulin used pig pancreas juice and bandages for bad burns is placenta. Shocking. Okay, then, Jane. Appreciate you. She also said Doritos and taco chips in a bag not allowed in Europe, just like pit bull dogs not allowed in Europe. Money and people's rights rule in USA. I got you, Jane. Uncle Plus said overly processed food will be the death of us all. I believe so too. Supermax said, well said, diminished standards equals diminished health. Absolutely. Jane said, Uncle Plus, laugh out loud. Uncle Plus said, yes, bulk buying is an obsession that's only for large families. I agree. Jane said, American worried might have short food of stuff, toilet paper, water. Yes, the pandemic sent us into a frenzy with toilet paper and water and other things that we didn't think that would happen or we didn't think that we would get enough of in stock. We didn't want to run out of any of those things. So people overstocked in those. Supermax said, up in the chat with jokes. Uncle Plus said, dang, Jane, you on some next level digging. Uncle Plus said, I like Jane. Jane, since you in here, make sure Uncle Plug has his own YouTube, and actually him and Souls are about to go live with their sports show 1181. Make sure you go over to his page and hit subscribe as well. And he has some great story times. He did a story time this morning. So go over to his page and subscribe as well while you in here. And she said, well, people are living longer. Biggest group of people in U.S. 2 year will be people over the age of 60 years old. Maybe chemical keeping us alive. She said a joke. Yeah. So let me pull this up for what California is talking about when it comes to these food labels. Let's see. And of course, why don't I have it? That's okay, but we're going to get it. Hold on, y'all. California. There we go. Which one we going? We're going to listen to this one right here. Let's listen in, y'all.
Foods were still good after the expiration date. Well, now shoppers in California will see a major change in food labeling starting next week. It's the state's effort to cut down on food waste. CBS LA's Nicole Comstock breaks down what to expect at the grocery store.
Those food date labels are not always expiration dates. For instance, when it says sell by, that's actually meant to tell the grocery store when to rotate its food supply. One group I spoke with tonight says all of that confusion creates a whole lot of food waste, and this new law is a simple solution for that. If you've ever questioned what the phrases printed on food date labels actually mean, you're not alone. It turns out lots of people run their own little experiments on their groceries.
The sell by, I was still able to stretch another couple of weeks, tell you the truth. So far, I wasn't sick or anything like that. So
I always Google just in case. How good is this after this day? Will I die? Will I die?
But come July 1st, food date labels in California should be a little less confusing. Say goodbye to all that sell by and enjoy by business. The only two things manufacturers can print moving forward are user freeze by to indicate when the food is no longer safe to eat, or best if used or frozen by to indicate when the food is no longer at peak freshness.
How do people know, how much longer is it going to be okay for after it passes that peak window of freshness?
Unless it says use by, you should basically use your nose and see if it smells good.
Nick Lapis is the director of advocacy with Californians Against Waste. The nonprofit environmental research organization co-sponsored the bill to help prevent food waste in California.
Something like 20% of all food waste is attributed to confusion over date labels.
CalRecycle reports that a shocking 2.5 billion meals worth of fresh, unspoiled food is thrown away here every year.
We've even had food banks tell us that people are refusing to take food for free because it's quote unquote past the date.
Lapis' research shows that people throw food away on those dates, even if the food's not bad.
I think we're kind of misled, or in the sense that when food is actually good up till it.
But the amateur taste testers we spoke with say they're more cautious about fresh food than they are with processed food, like some possibly expired croutons.
They were good, and it was crispy and crunchy. They was pretty good.
Now, this new law does not apply to baby formula or eggs because of pre-existing federal laws. Reporting in Studio City, Nicole Comstock, CBS LA.
All right, then. So y'all heard it. Well, we're gonna talk about that on another show right there. Let me see. Hold on. So that was those 16 kids is crazy. We'll talk about that on another show. I might do a special segment on that part. Yeah. So what y'all think about that? Jane said, "Oh, okay." Superman said, "Jane, right? Technology allows you to go either direction, towards better health or away from it." Jane says, "Super, yes, true. People need to manage their lives with types of food, exercise, and stress. I heard Chinese grocery stores here do not follow FDA labels for guidance." Oh, okay. She said, "I got green seedless grapes at grocery store. They were all sour." Mariel said, "Good afternoon, Rain. Welcome in, Miss Mariel. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to have to give you a wrench too, Miss Mariel, too. I'll give you a wrench." Supermax said, "Jane, when it comes to food, growing your own is best." I need to give one to Supermax too. Let me see if I can do that right now. Add as a moderator. And then Miss Mariel. Miss Mariel, you must be on the Miss Mariel, you must be on the vertical. Let me find you. Let's see. There you go. There we go. So both of y'all should have y'all wrenches too, because Superman, you be sharing my stuff. I really appreciate you sharing everything. Yeah. Superman said, "Jane, when it comes to food, growing your own is best." I agree, y'all. Yes. So of course, the old sell by label was really meant for stores, right? That's what they said in the article, and they said it in the clip. It helped retailers know how long to display a product, but many shoppers read it as an expiration date. Now, I will say that sell by date, I'm one for throwing stuff away. If it's been too long in the cabinet. Now, I will say this, I have consumed things after the sell by date because it seemed still fresh, I smelled it, I tasted it, it was fine. I was fine. It didn't affect my stomach. There was nothing wrong with it. So I think it helps us understand what we buy as well. Now, of course, this does not mean ignore common sense. If food smells wrong, looks wrong, or has been stored improperly, do not play around with your health. But the larger point is clearer labels can help people make better decisions as well. Not everybody has the same nose. So something, because I know I've asked, does it smell good? What you think? So at a time where grocery store prices are still heavy on families throwing away good food because of confusing wording is something worth fixing. So tonight's wellness check is simple. Before you toss it, understand the label, because sometimes the food is not expired. The information is, right? So yeah, let me catch up on these comments and then we'll move to our last segment because y'all, the best sports show on YouTube is about to come on right behind me with Uncle Plug and Souls of Thought. So y'all make sure y'all go over there to their channels and hit that subscribe button. As a matter of fact, I'm going to find the link before we leave so y'all can just swoop straight on over there because I'm going to be watching because it's the best sports show on YouTube. So Jane says, "Super. That's true, but I live in an apartment with my pet wasp making a hive on my porch. Another story. I'm killing those boogers." Supermax said, "Thanks, but I'm a tool already." Just kidding. Jane says, "Soft me too. If it's past the date and smells funny, it goes into the trash. I do not want sickness and vomiting and stomach pains." Absolutely. Supermax said, "Jane, encourage them. Symbiosis could give you honey." I love fresh honey, local honey. It helps with allergies too, local honey. Jane says super roller on the floor laughing. All right, y'all. We're going to move on to my last segment, which is Soul Reset. I appreciate y'all being here, and make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. If you're catching this on the rewatch, make sure you leave your comments down below. So let's move on to my last segment, which is Soul Reset. So for Soul Reset, I am ending with a story that has one word. No, it has more than one word. It has more than that. Resilience, endurance, all types. It's a lot. It's a lot. So Kelsey Pfendler, I'm gonna assume her last name is has a silent P on it. She is a professional Grand Canyon river guide, and she just completed. I followed her midway through her journey. I started watching her. I ran across her midway through her journey. She just completed a solo rowing journey from Monterey, California to Honolulu, Hawaii. According to the Associated Press, she spent nearly 44 days at sea in a 21-foot rowboat named Lily, crossing more than 2,400 miles of the Pacific Ocean. And with that journey, she became the first American woman, the youngest woman, and the fastest woman to row solo across the mid-Pacific route. So that's not just a sports accomplishment, that's a mental strength as well, because rowing across ocean means isolation, pain, blisters, weather, exhaustion, fear, repetition, the same water, the same boat, the same goal, day after day. So Kelsey, she documented parts of that journey online, including the hard moments and the lighter ones. And when she arrived in Honolulu, hundreds of people were there to celebrate her. What makes it so reset is not only the record, it's the message. So let me pull up. I'm gonna pull up this one first. We'll pull up her homecoming first. Let's see. Ooh, that's loud. Let me turn that down some. Hold on. They were hollering, of course. This was her coming into Honolulu, and then we'll do the article, the news one. Do it like this. Okay, so this was her rowing in.
It took her 43 days, 17 hours, and 55 minutes. Kelsey Pfendler's solo rowing journey from Monterey to Hawaii has come to an end. She was able to step on land just after midnight in Hawaii, greeted by family and friends. It was an emotional journey, a record-breaking one. She started May 21st. Previous overall solo rowing record was 52 days, set back in 2014.
So that's that one, and then let's get the whole news. Let's see. Let's listen in on this one right
Rower Kelsey Pfendler expected to make it all the way to Hawaii sometime tonight. She left Monterey May 21st, the first American woman to attempt the row. She is currently just off the island of Oahu. Live progress tracker. There's the purple line. That's the longest part right there.
Yeah.
That's the longest part.
Well, you could, throw the horse to the barn thing.
They say she is going to hit shore at about 11 o'clock Hawaii time, 2 a.m. our time. She's got to get into Honolulu there. She is well on track to break the overall solo world record of 52 days set in 2014.
It's a crazy feeling to have this moment when I didn't even expect fully to break the women's record. Coming out here, I just wanted to do my best, and I trained my butt off, and I prepared in every way I could, but I had no expectations of this moment. But I'm so grateful for this moment.
Pretty good.
And, yeah, no kidding. She's from New York. She used to be a whitewater rafting guide. She's using the row to raise money for a nonprofit supporting people who work as river guides at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, yeah. So let me I'm gonna pull up. I ran across her on Facebook. I'm gonna pull up her page right quick. And if y'all want to go follow her, it's You Row Kelsey. And let me pull up her. There we go. I'm gonna pull up her page and I'm gonna share it. She came into let me share this tab. She came into Honolulu last night before last, I think it was. It wasn't last night, the night before last. Yeah, let me do it like this. Oh yeah, that looks better on screen. So I wanted to pull up some of her reels right quick before we get up out of here. See, like she was making
39.
She documented her whole journey, like making her food, water.
So I kind of started this routine, I don't know, probably like week 2, where around the afternoon, kind of nighttime, I make a bunch of hot water and I make myself dinner. And then kind of like do a almost like changing of the day, where it's really hard to kind of separate the days when you're out here.
So when she was out here too as well, y'all, she had to clean the bottom of her boat for barnacles and whatnot, so that her rowboat would efficiently move in the water.
Good morning.
I think the whole thing was
day 38. I wear this buff constantly.
She documented her whole journey though.
I do spend upwards of day 37 of becoming the first row solo from California to Hawaii. This is a huge deal. I broke 500 miles today. I am officially, last time I checked, 480 miles away from Oahu. Yes.
Now she did this before. I forgot what year it was, with 3 other ladies, and they rode from Monterey to Hawaii as well a couple of years ago. But there's a whole foundation that she supports. Truly interesting story. I couldn't be out there on the water at night by myself.
36 of becoming the first American woman to row solo from California to Hawaii. And I thought I would bring you guys back on to the deck at night, because we're starting to get some more moon, and it is absolutely beautiful out here.
That's got to be mentally, like, you have to be mentally strong to do that. I would have made a phone call. Y'all come get me. Somebody come find me. I can't do this. I like my isolation and I like being alone, but that's a different kind of alone. You're surrounded by water. You can't see land by yourself at night. I just thought it was very interesting.
Day 34 of becoming the first American woman to row solo from California to Hawaii.
But she, y'all can look her up on Facebook. You Row Kelsey. I gotta put it in the comments real quick. You Row Kelsey. But y'all look her up on Facebook. She did get, I think the Coast Guard came by, the Navy came by on their route over to Hawaii as well. It was very interesting to watch and see. Like I said, I found her midway through her journey, and she made it, y'all. She made it. She's raised over I think like 160,000. She even had a visitor on her boat.
Yeah, I sat here and watched him do multiple flyovers to like figure out where he was going to land. And I guess he decided on this railing, but it doesn't look.
Yeah, little visitor and everything. So shout out to Kelsey for doing that. She let me go to her page. She has a link tree. Let's see. I'm trying to see the foundation that she's rowing for. But she has a whole there's her boat. Yeah, so she did it in with the Siblings in 2019 in the Atlantic. She did team entrepreneurship in 2021 that rode across the Atlantic as well, and Aloha Kai in 2023. I think that's when she did it with those women. Let me cut this off because it's gonna be loud. I'm trying to see. Oh, she did Or in 24 by Sail. She sailed the Atlantic in 2020. Where is that foundation though? I think it's like a well foundation that she's. Yeah, so in June of 24, she was the skipper, and she with 4 of them that you see over there on the right hand side. So she did that. Yeah. So I don't know the exact foundation, but hey, she did that. So shout out to Kelsey. I'm not gonna stay on here too much longer because the guys are about to come on and do their show 1181. So the AP reported that Kelsey hopes her journey inspires other people to take on their own hard things. Her message was not that you have to feel strong enough to finish. It was that you can be strong enough to begin, and that will preach all by itself because a lot of people are waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel fearless, waiting to feel fully prepared before they start the thing that has been sitting in their spirit. But sometimes courage does not show up before the journey. Sometimes courage meets you on the water, day by day, stroke by stroke, mile by mile, mile by mile. So today's soul reset is this. You may not be crossing the Pacific Ocean, but you might be facing something that feels just as big in your life. All you can do today is begin, then begin. Because history is not only made at the finish line, sometimes it starts at the moment you push away from the shore. All right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all coming in and joining me. I'm going to roll through these comments real quick. Mario said, thank you for my wrench. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Mario. I appreciate you always showing up and being here. Jane says, soft is the record-breaking woman is that Shari Richardson. She is amazing. Supermax said, porch super local rain. Yes, the porch is local. Jane said, what the heck? That is amazing. 2,400 miles on long journey on the sea. People amaze me and doing mighty tasks. Absolutely. Jane said, Kelsey Pfendler is amazing. So glad Gator or Shark didn't get her. That happens to a lot to snow people. Jane, Miss Kelsey said probably can get a good job, cruise ship lines, and keep teaching. Yeah. And that's her name. You wrote Kelsey if y'all want to follow her journey. Supermax said that strength of my with enough respect due to her, because if you haven't heard mine, perfect. I hear that. Jane said, I am amazed by Lisa Cook, Black lady director of Federal Reserve, whereas POTUS 47 tried to fire her over nothing. She remained cool, and Superior Court backed her up. 47 wants his picture on U.S. money. I'm going to have to look at that. I'm going to go back. I'm going to start at so I can go back and look that up. Jane said, POTUS 47 tries to break the rules all the time. His face on money is not possible to politician until a politician passes away. All right, then. Supermax said, also appreciate the wrench. Big up yourself. Yes. So thank y'all for coming in. If y'all haven't done so already, make sure y'all go over to Souls of Thought page and Uncle Plug's page. They're about to start 1181 here shortly. As a matter of fact, they should be popping in or showing up in your feed here in just a few minutes. I appreciate y'all coming in. We talked about the young guy over in Michigan who parents are being charged now with murder. He was extremely overweight as well. We talked about America's 250th celebration. We talked about what else we talked about, y'all? We talked about my brain. We talked about a lot. We talked about the Empire State, them people scaling the Empire State Building and courting, as Soul says. We talked about your food having expiration dates. And we also talked about Kelsey just now about endurance, about resilience, isolation, solitude. She experienced all of that rowing over the sea. So I appreciate y'all stopping in. Make sure y'all check me out tomorrow night on No Middleman panel over on Souls of Thought channel. We do that Mondays and Tuesdays. Make sure y'all check. I think me and Souls are doing, I know me and Souls are doing same soil, different roots this evening sometime. I don't know the exact time just yet. So make sure y'all check us back over on Souls of Thought with same soil, different root. And they are live now, y'all. So tonight we covered a heartbreaking child death case in Michigan, a national celebration that wrapped in questions of legacy, World Cup fans discovering America through culture, a food label law that can change how families shop and waste less, and one woman's record-breaking journey across the Pacific. Different stories, different emotions, but one common thread. Every headline asks us to pay attention to the children who need protection, to the history we choose to honor, and to the culture we share the world with, the information that helps shape our everyday choices, and the courage it takes to begin again. I am Soft Rain, and this has been the Weekly Rain Report. Real stories, real perspective, real impact. Until next time, make sure y'all stay informed, stay grounded, and remember, the truth still matters. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, and catch me down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the episode. I'll see y'all next time.
It's your girl, Soft Rain. Real talk, no filter, no disguise. Every headline, I'm breaking it live. From the streets to the pressure of up top, we see it all, yeah, we connect the dots. Weekly rain, yeah, we run it down. Truth hit different when it wear a crown. No fluff, no cap, just facts in sight. Welcome to the Weekly Rain Report. Let's get into it tonight.